Welcome back. Well, a busy weather pattern for Acadiana. Wet, cold rains overnight tonight through tomorrow. Then a little bit of a break. Then maybe more showers Sunday. We'll get to that in just a bit. But first off, let's take a look at this upper level pattern with this upper level low that's rolling through New Mexico and off to the east northeast. That's engendering an area of low pressure at the surface. When we have southwesterly winds over the Gulf of Mexico, you get an area of low pressure generally developing out here in wintertime. It's a natural way for storms to develop, and we haven't had too many northwest Gulf lows over the last several winters, so here we have one going right now. And then at the surface we have this high pressure ridge off to the north that's fanning all the winds across California, enhancing those Santa Ana winds that are blowing in the western U.S. But look at all the winter storm warnings. That's in shades of pink here, from Oklahoma, Texas panhandles all the way to the east coast and down to the northern part of our state. And right now we see a wintry mix just in around the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're going to be getting more snow. There's been wintry mixes up toward the Texas Hill Country as well. And then everything in blue is all snow. And then you have a mix of sleet and freezing rain as you get into southern Arkansas. And here's our area of low pressure along the Texas coast, which, by the way, as it gets closer to us, that pressure gradient's going to pick up, where we're going to see an increase in easterly winds. So we're going to get a wind chill, and that's going to drive up the tides along the coast a foot or two above normal. Coastal flood advisory in effect there, and a wind advisory in effect for most of Acadiana, thanks to those breezy winds, which is just going to make it feel more miserable with rain, and then rain moving sideways and wind chills in the mid to upper 30s tonight and mid 30s tomorrow. Plenty of rain on the radar. We have a batch that's moving through portions of Acadiana. A little bit of a break before we see more activity along the upper Texas coast. That'll get here later on tonight, but right now a little sloppy across portions of Acadiana with some heavy downpours. Acadia into southern St. Landry and Lafayette Parish, just moderate to occasionally heavier rains, but we're not expecting any flooding. But we're going to get a good soaking overall, with most folks catching 1 to 3 inches of rain with this low pressure system. And on top of that, we may see a little rumbles of thunder. We're not going to have any severe weather, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see a few flashes of lightning and hear a few rumbles of thunder overnight tonight. All that winter weather staying off to the north of us, Shreveport on northwestward, and then lingering shower activity into the afternoon, mostly light stuff, but things will be lightening up as we go throughout the day, and then drier air moving in as we head into Saturday. Temperatures getting close to the freezing mark Saturday morning, maybe just above that in Lafayette, but more than likely we'll see upper 20s to lower 30s for Cenla and northern portions of Acadiana. As for rainfall, the models are pretty consistent. This is the HER model showing us a good 1 to 3 inches. Higher amounts down along the coast and towards southwest Louisiana. And we bring in the latest graph model. We like to compare and contrast, and when they pretty much agree on the same look, we know we're going to get a good soaking, and 1 to 3 looks to be a good call. Isolated amounts, though, could be pushing 4 inches of rain in spots, maybe a little bit more as the models continue to underestimate the rains, usually in the wintertime. Wind chills staying in the upper 30s tonight, mid 30s tomorrow morning, and then with northwesterly winds coming in and chillier air, we're going to see those wind chills getting down into the mid 20s again for Saturday morning. So January being January across the area for sure. Overnight tonight, if anything says gumbo weather, it's temperatures in the lower 40s. That'll be our low. They rise a little bit, but it's going to be wet. Just a yucky night. Maybe good for sleeping, though, unless you're a meteorologist. Then tomorrow, more rain to start the morning. You're going to want to sleep in tomorrow. Temperatures hold in the mid 40s and wind chills in the mid 30s, but drier as we get to drive time tomorrow into the evening hours. As we move forward, Saturday doesn't look too bad. A winter-like day. Some showers Sunday, especially down toward the coast, and then still a relatively cool pattern. Hey, a few 70s coming back into the forecast, but about a week away before we see milder conditions. But the important thing, too, we don't see any big deep freezes coming anytime soon either. That's it for weather for now. We'll have an update coming up later in the show.